Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dividend Obsession. It is the end of May slash the beginning of June, so you guys know what that means. We're going to be going over my dividend income for all of my portfolios put together. So we're going to jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to be looking at, as always, or at least as recently, I'm going to show you guys my buys, the buys I made in May of 2022. And we're going to go account by account so you guys can see not only the amount of whatever I bought, but how much I spent and when I bought. So first thing we're going to dive into is the IBA, my retire early account. You guys can see over here in column A all the days I bought, so I was able to buy pretty consistently throughout the whole month. Here's the stocks I bought, the quantity, the price, and the amount I spent. The price is how much that stock cost when I bought it. So over here, the pivot table is going to be easily summing all this up for you guys. So we have Apple, AbbVie, Illinois Toolworks, Microsoft, NextEra Energy, NVIDIA, Poolcorp, Starbucks, and ExxonMobil. In total, in the IBA, I bought 11.093 shares, a really good month for me. We have 11 shares total of each of all of these companies. Here's the average price that I bought each stock at. This is only really useful if you guys also have another screen up while listening to this video that shows what the current price of these are. You guys can see if I got a discount or paid a premium compared to what they are now. And then over here, sum of amount is how much total dollars I spent on each company this month. So $360 on Apple, $37 on AbbVie, and so on. So in total, I got 11.093 shares, like I said, and I spent $1,500.08 in my IBA just in May. So next we're going to go over to the Roth. And over here again, you can see my run dates, the days I made my purchases, the stocks I bought, all the things. Over here on the pivot table, we're summing it up. So here's all the holdings that are in my Roth. I have QQQJ, QQQM, SCHD, SPYG, Tesla, VNQ, and VOO. I bought 16.687 shares total in my Roth account, which I'm again very excited about. Here's my average price for each. Tesla I got at 769, which is way lower than my cost basis on Tesla, so I'm really excited about that. And here's how much I spent on each stock. I have a diversification balance on this, so this is actually how I want it to go. I can speak on that a little bit more later. So here's the sum. So I bought 16.687 shares I spent $1,144.80 in the month of May alone in my Roth IRA. Jumping into the 401k. So I don't have many options in my 401k. I tried to pick the best options of the ones I do. I feel like there's like 17 selections that I can pick, and of those 17, like 15 of them or 14 of them are all target date funds, and I don't want those. So here's what I was left with. So we have two purchases. I got paid twice in May, and I have a small mid cap and a total market. I bought 10.211 shares for $874.90 total in my 401k. Then we're going to jump into the HSA. I only have one holding, which is a small cap fund in my HSA, and I did pretty good at buying that multiple times a month. For whatever reason, my HSA funds didn't come into my account until the middle of the month, so I wasn't able to purchase until the middle of the month. And then kind of the same thing here. We're a couple of days into June. I just got paid at the end of May. I didn't get any funding, so they might be just taking all of the funding for my HSA out of one check, which makes my check smaller, but makes my next check bigger. So I guess it doesn't matter. It's a wash, I guess. But anyway, so FSSNX, I bought 13.645 shares, average price of $22.32, and I spent $304.16 on that stock this month alone in May. And then the totals column. So this is going to be the interesting one, at least for me. So here's all the stuff, all the accounts I bought in, IBA, Roth, 401k, HSA. Here's all the tickers I bought, number of shares I bought. All this is, repeated from the previous tabs I was just showing you guys. But then you get into the annual dividend. So this is currently what each of these stocks, if they pay a dividend, what they pay annually. And then this is the amount I added per month, just this month in dividends by buying that X amount of shares. So what this does is it sums it up. So over here, I added $2.26 per year to my Apple earnings. just by buying my 2 shares this month. So in my IBA, I added $23.40 to my dividend income in May. Roth, I added 1366, 401k 487, and HSA 314. So in May alone, I contributed $3,800, 3823.94, as you guys can see right here, and I added 4705 per year to my dividend income, and that's not obviously including any increases or future additions to those portfolios or those accounts. So really, really overall excited about what the progress was made in May. I was able to contribute a lot of money total, led by my IBA, which is obviously the account I'm trying to contribute to the quickest. That's the one I need to retire early because I can't access any of these other accounts until 59 and a half. I can access this IBA whenever I want to. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go into my actual dividend tracking spreadsheet that I have. Again, some of you guys have reached out to me on this one to try to get a blank copy of this, and I have sent it to those that have wanted it. But here we are. So here's my blank tracking. So the first thing I'm going to be showing you guys is the who paid me in May from my IBA account. So what we're going to do is the dividend history combined. We're going to go all the way down. This is all chronological order. And we're going to look right here. So these are the companies that paid me in May. So you have Air Products and Chemicals, $6.74 on May 9th. May 12th, we have Apple at $1.63. We have AbbVie at $16.60, which is a nice payment for me on 5/16. 5/27, I got paid by 2 companies. I got paid by Starbucks, $5.82, and Pool Corp at $2.46. Again, these are all in my IBA. These are all dripped. This is the drip line. Did I basically reinvest those dividends, and how many shares those reinvested dividends bought me is right here. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go back to the dividend tracking just in the IBA. So there is a little June on here. You guys can pretend you don't see it or pretend you see it. It'll go way higher than this. June is one of my bigger months. But what we're here for is the May comparison. So we're going to compare. We see right here, I made $33.25 in my IBA alone just in May. So that's very, very good. That's one of my better months. That actually might be my best month ever. It is. Yeah, so right here I had $33.01, $31, $30. So $33.25 is my best month ever. I didn't even realize that till now, so way to go me. And then if you also compare another thing, so you can't compare month over month as much because there's different payers for different months and the whole 9 yards. But what you can do is you can try to compare May of 2022 to May of 2021. So if you do that, we have 33.25 to 1974, and that is a 68.4% increase in dividends received year over year. So very, very good growth. You guys can see right here, this is our quarter 2 total for 2022 so far. Not right here, $31.68 last June. I'm at $2.04. I've only been paid one time so far. So if I can get another 30 bomb, I'm going to call it in here, we're looking like we're going to have a really, really good quarter 2, which is very exciting. So there's that. So the next thing we're going to be taking a look at is the Roth. So I actually received money in my Roth this month. You guys will see right here that it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't from like an investment. So I have extra cash sitting in my Roth. So that gave me 25 cents in basically interest that I received. So I got that on 5/31, 25 cents in my Roth. You can't drip that. It just gets added to your cash balance, which is fine with me. So there's what I received there. And just to show you guys the Roth tracker, there's my 25 cents that I received for May. We're killing it in quarter 2. We got 25 cents total, but my Roth account is a dominant 3, 6, 9, 12 payer. You guys can see I have that highlighted. So next month, stay tuned for the dividend recap for June. You guys will see a bunch of money coming in, and that's going to be very exciting for me and hopefully exciting for you guys too. So the next thing we're going to be taking a look at is the overall portfolio gain. So we're going to go to the dividend tracking combined, which is right here. And this basically just totals what I was just talking about. So we have right here, quarter two, we have May. So we have $33.50. So I've made more total than this before. Here's $33 down here. December has my 401k. One of my funds pays a big dividend in December. So December's always going to be skewed. But as far as individual months combined accounts, this is my second biggest payment ever, other than the $46 I received in March. And that is going to tie into June. So I'm really excited to see what that is. But again, comparing the 1975 to the 3350, we're at a 69.6% increase year over year just in May. Very, very excited about that. So the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go over what my goals were that I discussed in the last video. This is just my overall goals for the year, but I did set individual goals for quarter two and specifically for May. So I wanted to refresh what those were for you guys and also advise where I'm at and what my thought process is and stuff like that. So first goal was to finish maxing out my Roth IRA. I brought this up in last video. I wanted to do that by the end of April, and I did that April 5th. You guys can see right here, I maxed out my Roth IRA. My best case was April, June, and then end of year for a worst case scenario. Did it April 5th. That allows me to stop adding money to that account because I can't add anymore and add money to the IBA, which is my retire early account. So successful goal there. My next goal was to begin aggressively investing into the IBA for the rest of the year. So far, I've been able to add $2,850.29 of my own cash and $25.22 from my Fidelity Rewards credit card to the IBA for a total of $2,875.51, keeping in mind that this is only for April, May, and what I've already added for June. So that's, again, very, very nice progress. That's the big goal at the end of the day. Keep adding to this. You guys can see right here. That is my base case is to add 4,500. We're only at June, and I'm already at 2,800, so I'm well on pace for that. Because again, that's April, May, and June. It's not like it was from January to June. I've added this much. You double it. That's not how that works. I've only added for 3 months, so this is basically a quarter's worth of adding. So I have 2 more quarters to add, being the rest of all of quarter 3 and all of quarter 4. So excited about that. The last thing on that, the begin funding the IBA. So I'm hoping to keep adding at a decent pace. I do have a couple life events coming up, which is probably going to slow down how much I can add per month. For example, I added $1,500 in April to my IBA, and I was only able to add like $600 in June. No, in June to my IBA. So that's not necessarily like I'm splurging, I'm wasting money. It's just things I have to pay for, which is fine. And keeping in mind that in April I got paid 3 times, so that was like basically a whole extra paycheck that went to my account, which helps a lot too. So it's not as big of a disparity as it looks. So that's good to know. Next, we are diving into balancing out my IBA and figuring out my percentages and diversifications. So I was able to do that. So you guys will see down here that I have my goal allocations that I picked out for each of my stocks. I do not have enough stocks to have the standard 5%, no more than 5% in each stock. I'm not necessarily worried about that at the second. What I am worried about was I was way overbalanced and underweight in certain things. So this is my table that I'm using to get everything back in balance. You guys can see I have a dollar cost average every day for the next 19 days, which takes me to the end of June. This is how much I'm going to add each day in June to these stocks. The ones with parentheses are actually overweight still. So if I do not add any more money than my $564 that I have left, I'm actually still going to be overweight in APD and Visa, which is fine. So what I want to do for that is worst case scenario, I have that balanced out by the end of July. Best case scenario, I can find a couple extra dollars to add to my IBA by the end of the year and hopefully get this balanced out by the end of quarter 2. That would be fantastic because then I can really start diving into looking into any of the stocks that are on my watch list or adding new stocks to my watch list and work on building a position in that company as well. I'm looking at like Costco as one that's really interesting to me, especially since it's down. off of recent all-time highs. So we'll discuss that in future videos. But here's my diversification. We have 11% in a couple of these, 10% and 8% in the rest. You guys can see that. And again, if you guys have any questions on this, feel free to comment down below and let me know any questions or concerns you guys have with my allocations. I'd be happy to answer those. So I kind of spoke on this as start some research on possible new additions to the IBA. I said I have a few stocks that are on my watch list, but I'll dive into. I don't want to dive into those before this portfolio is balanced. So already spoke on that. This basically wraps up everything I have. I can show you guys my sector diversification if this chart shows up. Boom. So you guys can see I don't like to have more than 20% in any one industry. I actually have 20% in more than two industries, which is fine for now. I'm getting diversified. And then once I start adding some other sectors in here, it'll really cut these down. And that'll take care of itself. So over here's my general goals. I'm missing communication services, consumer staples, and real estate. Probably won't add any real estate, but I do have two sectors that I don't have any money in. And then I have a couple sectors that are under 10%, actually under 20%, which are a bunch of them. There's only two that are over 20%. So I have plenty of things to add to, which is fine with me. So, but yeah, other than that, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Please like the video if you guys enjoyed today's content. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel down below. I do new dividend related content every Monday and Friday. And then also at the end of the month or the very beginning of the following month, you guys will get content like this where I give you guys my dividend recap, how I was doing, what I bought. I'm not really a seller, so I don't really have any sells for you guys. But if I do, you'll be updated here. And yeah, with that being said, until next time, see ya.